Hello and welcome everyone. In this video we will see what are some examples of dirty marketing tricks. This video is brought to you by the Question Response channel, the channel where you will find the answer to everything. I thank Eric Kelly, Rakesh Jilla, Timur Burial and Ganesh Prasad for sharing their answers to this question with us. We'll start with Eric Kelly's answer.
I think the most famous modern-day dirty marketing trick is the Pepsi challenge from the 1970s. For those of you who may not be familiar with the campaign, in 1975 Pepsi began setting up public blind taste tests between their product and their biggest rival, Coca-Cola. Participants were given unmarked, no labels or identification, servings of each product and then asked to identify which sample they preferred based on a single sip. The result was that Pepsi, who had been a distant second place in sales to Coca-Cola for decades, was preferred by over 50% of the participants. This was a huge coup for Pepsi and they based a massive TV advertising campaign around showing footage from these taste tests and touting the stat that Pepsi was hands down the preferred selection. These results sent rival Coca-Cola into a panic and they in turn responded by creating a new formula for their product which they brilliantly named sarcasm, New Coke. Without going into too much detail, New Coke was a resounding failure. There was a huge public backlash and Coca-Cola quickly re-released their previous formula, brilliantly titled sarcasm, CocaCola Classic. With the re-release of their classic product, Coca-Cola saw a huge uptick in sales and has remained the #1 cola brand on the planet ever since. So while this is an interesting story, I'm sure you are wondering how any of this is a particularly dirty marketing tactic. The key comes down to how the taste test was administered. See, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, while both drinks in the cola category have some specific variations in taste, the key one being that while Pepsi has an initial sweet smooth flavor, Coca-Cola has a bit of a dry taste that the brand calls the bite. When asked to taste test products in small doses, humans, Americans particularly, will almost always prefer the object that is sweeter. We simply have an affinity towards sweets. That said, if asked to consume large quantities of an object, the majority of people will tend to get sick of overly sweet foods, beverages and start to prefer foods, beverages that have a more varied flavor palette. The reason the Pepsi challenge was able to get a result where the subjects who participated overwhelmingly selected Pepsi over Coca-Cola was that size of the taste test sample being consumed was very small, only one sip. This test would always favor a product that had an initial light and sweet flavor over one that was drier and had a bite. If you took this test however and asked the participants to consume a full can of each product, the results would switch. The people involved would gravitate towards the product that had a more complex flavor vs the one that tasted sweeter. So the dirty marketing was in the fact that the Pepsi challenge was done in a way that would get the majority of participants to select the Pepsi sample over Coca-Cola by having them only taste test one sip. This, despite the fact that in real life usage nobody ever simply drinks one sip of a cola when they are thirsty, they have an entire can or a glass. If the test was done with a full can, Coca-Cola wins hands down. If you found this example interesting, I highly recommend checking out the book Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. He does an amazing job digging into this and other marketing tricks in that book that are incredibly eye-opening. Pun was just a happy accident.
We continue with Rakesh Jilla's answer.
Ray-Ban and Oakley. Couple of years ago, when I first entered the US, I wanted to buy sunglasses. Previously, I owned sunglasses, but they were unbranded. So, this time I want to both invest my money and time to buy the best sunglasses. I stumbled upon these two brands Wayfarers. I looked into a couple of websites and understood that there was an untold rivalry between these two, both in comments and reviews posted by these sunglasses owners. At least, I was in an assumption of so. One brand customers always bashed the other brand's customers and vice versa. So, after doing my research, I got a good pair of one of these and was happy with them. Although, after learning so many reviews, I'd always wondered if I chose a wrong pair and whether the other brand sunglasses are much more comfortable since there are a lot of good reviews. Although my brand sunglasses have the same amount of good reviews, I was always on the edge. Couple of months later, out of curiosity, I bought the other brand sunglasses as well, which were around the same price line. I could see no difference, both were very good, has its own pros and cons. I now owned both brands' sunglasses and was in tranquility. Out of curiosity again, I looked into the sales of each of the brands to see who is the winner. When I first researched a bit, I was surprised to see that both these brands are owned by a same owner. This is the one. How could I miss this when I was researching on the glasses in the first place? Later I discovered that this brand keeps the secrecy, so it doesn't let you to know that these two brands are under the same company, unless you want to know so. Not only this, around 70% of high-end sunglasses manufactured are owned by Luxottica. If you own a pair of a good brand sunglasses, chances likely are that they are manufactured by Luxottica. What's dirty marketing in this? The established secrecy and rivalry, pushing you to want to purchase one product over the other. A simple mind trick to project both the brands are rivals and cashing out. At the end, whatever you purchase, the money is going into Luxottica's pocket.
The next answer is from Timur Burial.
Uncovering private, confidential information thanks to cross-analysis of many sources of usual consumer information. Target did exactly this to find out which of their consumers were pregnant in order to push them related coupons and deals. Pregnant women are goldmines for marketers. When a family settles down and have their first child, a lot of their purchasing habits are shaken. They both need and want to try new products and shops. They are effectively going to form new purchasing habits that are likely to last for years. So if you're a marketer, you really have a splendid window to acquire new customers here. As a result, marketers have long used public birth records to find out which families recently had children, and push these families some deals hoping to onboard them. The thing is, it was very hard to stand out doing that. All your competitors were doing the exact same thing, and customers had very little attention to give you as they received tons of ads at the same time. The way to get their attention and to outsmart the competition was to reach them earlier. Not when the child was born, but when the mother was pregnant. But the thing is, being pregnant is an information few would be comfortable being asked by a marketer, let alone tell them. It is private. Target, a US-based supermarket chain, found a way around it. They analyzed what each woman bought in their stores to determine if they were pregnant. They knew that pregnant women often bought certain types of product together, e.g. scentless lotions, cotton balls, food supplements. By matching purchase history with other information they had such as age, job and income, they were able to build an ultra-precise prediction model. Actually, their model was so powerful that it was able to know about someone being pregnant before anyone else, including parents. Partly thanks to it, Target revenue grew from $44 billion in 2002 to $67 billion 8 years later. Actually, their model was so powerful and precise that it was sometimes able to predict pregnancy more accurately than the mother's parents themselves.
What do you think? We will continue with Ganesh Prasad's answer.
Let me have the pleasure to guide you through a supermarket today. And show some tricks the stores employ to drive purchases. As we enter the supermarket, shopping cart, basket, stores help you with carts, baskets at the very entrance. Some even employ people to hand out baskets to the consumers. Suppose one enters without a basket, one will buy only what he needs as he has to carry all that. Whereas, if given a basket, even if one had planned to only get milk, he might also add a butter spread to the purchase. But, this is relevant to small purchases. There are also shoppers who purchase their month's needs, and they absolutely will need a cart. So not apparently a dirty trick. Maze of brands. But, what is dirty is how they structure a store in every possible way to make you unconsciously choose to spend more money, and milk every cent possible before you exit a store. This is by leveraging on our human biases, loopholes in our brains, to get us to be as irrational as possible. You will find only one entrance and one exit, excluding the emergency exits, in most supermarkets. Also, the aisles will be arranged in a way to place essentials such as rice or toilet paper at the very end. So, one will have to walk through a plethora of products and brands, persuading to purchase something or the other along the way that you might not even have planned to get. Eye-level shelves. Stores and brands consistently try to upsell, i.e. get consumers to buy premium or bigger value products for better profits. One of the ways is the planogram, assortment of the store shelves. Next time, if you pay attention, you'll find bigger value premium products at the eye-level shelves, as opposed to smaller, cheaper packs at the very bottom in most categories. How often would one consciously look at the bottom shelves? And how often would you bend and go all the way down to pick those instead of just taking a better brand at eye level, which is just a few cents more? Note the descending order of pack sizes, price below. POSM, point of sale materials. Advertising is not only what you see on YouTube or TV. Even in stores, brands try to grab your attention through POSMs. Well, grabbing your attention may not be a dirty trick. How about using loopholes in one's brain such as anchoring bias? Notice how up to is small. It is to anchor the 50% discount. Even if you think, well, it's only up to 50%, you still would want to check the products out. Now, did you know how long you have been in a supermarket? Have you ever noticed a window in a large supermarket? Or a clock at least? Supermarkets are always well lit without any hints to the light outside, to keep you distracted from time. And once you are at the queue to pay your bill, impulse purchase. When you wait in the queue near the cashier counter, you might find small value and or small size items such as mint, candies, OTC tablets, condoms, as below. Hey, I totally forgot to get paracetamol. Well, it's just $1, let me get some candy for a quick bite. That way, the stores can squeeze even $1 from you at the last mile in your shopper journey. Of course there are so many more tricks, but above are some of the more constant ones employed. And that's the end of our supermarket journey.
This is the end of the video. I hope you have more answers. You can now subscribe if you like the video more. Remember to also leave a like, it helps for the referencing on YouTube. Here is the end of the video. Leave a comment to tell us if these answers are more useful to you. See you soon.